India versus Australia, South Africa versus England, and of course, all the fun of the Big Bash. We'll discuss all of this on episode 34 of the Kingsgrove Sports Centre podcast. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 34 of the Kingsgrove Sports Centre podcast. Joining me, as always, is Charlie Carter. Good morning, Charlie.
Hello, sir. How are you?
And for the very first time, we're very excited and very happy to welcome AJ Isherwood.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Very well. And of course, the man in the corner that makes sure this goes out and makes us look somewhat professional. Nick, how are we?
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, to do the best of what I've got.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, we give you not much to work with. Let's be honest.
He's being modest again. He makes this all run.
Exactly, he does. He does make it. He does make it all work.
And the Yaneetsis clan are all watching. Hello.
They are.
And
they're
making sure he does it good.
So
Mom and Dad, they love the show.
Yes, I was waiting for your family greeting.
Got to be done.
Got to be done. All right. So, AJ, let's talk a little bit about you and your cricket. So, currently playing first grade at Western Suburbs in Sydney.
Yep. Correct. Yep.
Yeah. You're all rounder.
Yep.
Yeah. So bowl.
Left arm office.
Left arm office. Yeah. You bat left-handed as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Left hand as well.
Oh, he's
Middle
one of
order?
them.
For somebody who doesn't understand the term left-hand offies off the top of my head, can you explain to me what left-hand offies means?
Left arm off spin.
Left arm off
sort
spin.
of, yeah.
Right.
So it'll actually spin like a leg spinner.
Okay. I think I get that.
I think
You
that's
get that?
confused him even more.
Yeah, it actually has.
That's what I was trying. That's what I was
all
trying to do.
So what he does, he
That's what I was
bowls
trying
with
to
his left hand.
Yep.
And he tries to make the ball spin away from the right-handed batsman.
Oh, way from the right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I
which
got,
is like
got
which
that.
is like right arm
Yeah.
leg spin.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like baseball, but with intelligence.
Ah.
Now I've just
I'm not a baseball fan either, so it's fine with me.
I've just alienated all of our American listeners with that.
Oh,
Sorry, Team Yaneetsis.
No, they're all football fans, so it's all good.
Oh, do you mean actual football or
No.
Come on.
gridiron?
We've been over
Gridiron,
this, man.
yeah.
We have.
We've been over this.
Yeah.
You guys invented the word soccer.
We did, but
All right.
we also invented the word football.
Get over it.
Anyway.
I will never get over it.
No.
AJ, sorry, we digressed. Bit more about you. How long have you been at Western Suburbs? How did you get to Western Suburbs?
So I started my junior stuff at Penrith. Then I've been at West for 4 years now. So I signed a 2-year contract last year with them. So
Contract.
Yeah. So I've been there for 4 years. So everything's going good. Club's going pretty well. So
Club's all right. How's the club coach going?
good. Chad's good. Not too bad. Shout out
You
Chad
know him?
Porter.
Yes, I know. Chad Porter very well.
Oh, we all
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, we all do. Yeah. No, well, he was our coach at George's River for a while, and then he's moved on to bigger and better things, we'd say. So yeah, no, he's a good coach. He's doing well. So the club's doing all right. How you positioned so far in first grade?
We are, I think we're 6 points out of the 6.
Yeah.
So we had a good win on the weekend. Only 3 games got on.
That's
So
like it, yeah.
we got a good win on the weekend.
Yeah.
So that helps
Yeah,
us.
that's important. Yeah. Who you got coming up this week?
Saturday, Sunday game at Manly Oval.
Yeah, right.
So
Should be tough, but Manly they're a bit hot and cold at the moment in
Yeah.
first grade, so they're
Good time to play 'em.
more down the bottom of the ladder. So hopefully get a win there as well, and
Hopefully,
maybe jump into the 6.
Hopefully, yeah.
Because coming to the end of the season, so need to probably keep winning games of cricket, and hopefully you can play some finals,
Which will be nice, yeah.
which will be good. Yeah.
Did you start out as a left arm spinner, or were you a pace bowler that digressed to it?
I started off as wanting to bowl quick, and then I realised I was only 5 foot tall, so I thought probably a bad decision to keep going with pace.
Hey.
I just stopped
That
bowling.
skip can be.
I just stopped bowling.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
stopped playing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're not. Yeah, but you're a bit taller than 5 foot. You're a
Yeah,
bit
that's
taller
true.
than 4. Charlie.
Yes.
If people want to get in touch with us, how do they do that?
Oh, what a beautiful segue. Well, you can get to us on Facebook at Kingsgrove Sports Centre. You can get to us on Instagram at Kingsgrove Sports, Twitter at Kingsgrove Sport. Don't forget that hashtag KSC podcast. We're available on YouTube. Obviously, if you're watching us, you know that. iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and Nick, I still feel like I've forgotten
Oh,
something.
you said the hashtag that time.
I got the
Everything's
hashtag in.
Spot on, man. Well
That's
done.
it. So
What a beautiful
You're going to be
piece
that
of
designated guy from now.
what a beautiful piece of podcasting work there, Stu.
radio. Fantastic, excellent. We are professional. Told you we're professional. All right, so let's talk some international cricket. So Australia jetted out to India in the middle of our summer to play 3 one-day games.
Thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, interesting. I think this is always sort of on the cards, and India have been nice enough sort of just to delay it so that we can go over, sort of in February or March and play them. But this time they said, no, you can come in January. We're not gonna change it. I think we even offered them another one-day game, and they said no, like offered them another one-day game to push it back to after our summer. They said, no, you can come now. And so we did, and we played them. We started off well, obviously with a crushing 10-wicket win in the first ODI, but India got the job done in the next two. So India win the series 2-1. What it all means, really, I have no idea.
Were they
three one-day games? Sort of.
Did you see any of these games?
I did.
Were they full strength teams, or were they missing players with the Big Bash?
We were full strength. Oh, we'll probably talk about it a bit later because there's a couple of viewer questions. There was no Glenn Maxwell, which was maybe a bit interesting, but otherwise, India were full strength. Bumrah were back. We were full strength. And after probably watching that first one, AJ, where we crushed them by 10 wickets.
Yeah.
We probably thought, this would be easy, no dramas, yeah.
I'd say that was a fair effort. I mean, well, scoring 258 runs without losing a wicket is always a good effort.
Yeah.
But these days, that sort of total, the 250s, is considered a low chase.
Well, yeah, it probably is. And probably in India, where the grounds are sort of fairly small and the wickets are fairly flat, but also just with India's bowling lineup. They've got a strong bowling lineup, obviously, in their conditions. You would have thought, we probably would win, but you're not thinking that Finch and Warner would both score hundreds, and get it none down. And I think it's the highest wicket partnership, or opening partnership anyway against India in all ODIs. So
it's a good effort.
It is a good effort. Yeah. Then the second two. Not as good. We won the toss in the first. I think we won the toss in all of them. We bowled first in the first two. Didn't work that well in the second one. Then we batted in the first one. In the third one, and probably didn't work well in that one either. Didn't quite make enough runs in there. Obviously, in the third one, it was good to see Steve Smith get 100. First 100 in ODIs in 3 years.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I've just noticed something as well, because I haven't watched the Australia v India series at all. I'll be completely honest, I was watching the other cricket in South Africa. We'll get to that in a little while. But Steve Smith, 229 runs in 2 innings.
Yep.
So he didn't bat in that first game.
No, of course not.
And he's still 46 runs ahead of the second place person in that run list, which is Virat Kohli, which you expect.
Yeah.
That's a solid effort.
It was a solid effort.
Well done, Steve.
Steve Smith doing Steve Smith things, really. Yeah. You ever played against Steve?
No, I haven't.
No.
So
missed him last year while he was playing a bit of great cricket.
That was pretty lucky.
So
we scraped by there.
Yeah. I don't think Smithy got made of the series either. I think they might have gone to Virat.
Oh, of course.
But that's not surprising.
Please, the sponsors.
We're in India. So probably a couple of things to talk about that, and we do have some viewer questions, which is always good. We like to get the feedback. So just on that, a few things, sort of a couple of sort of along the same sort of lines.
Well, in fact, let's start with that one in the middle, because you've just asked pretty much the same question.
Well, I think we answered that question.
Yeah, Mac_Schooler. How did Kohli get man of the series? Well, what were his scores?
He basically got. I mean, he passed 50, I think, on each occasion, except for the first in the first game.
Okay.
Where he only made 9.
So 250s.
Yeah, 250. Sort of around 80, I think, in both of those second digs.
Right.
Well, I mean, he is their captain. India did win the series. Possibly, maybe. That old thing where you tend to give the player of the series to someone in the winning team rather than in the losing team. I don't know.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but
yeah, I mean, you can give it to one from each team if you want to go that way and make sure that everyone gets a participation medal.
I don't think that's. I don't think that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
It's not primary school.
But I think I think Kohli got man of the series because he's Virat Kohli. What do you reckon? I think we'll probably stick with that.
True.
I think that's how it was. Yeah, I mean, like Smith almost scored 200, so he got 98 in the second ODI and 131 in the third. Yeah. So he did have a handy series, but yeah, no,
Oh, maybe he must have just had a terrible game in the first one in the field. I don't know.
not really.
No,
I don't
he
think I
didn't.
don't think he touched the ball much. Anyway,
Fair enough.
anyway.
Let's go with an Australian-based question for question number 2.
Yeah, so
Australia should open the bowling with Hazelwood because he swings it more, says Eli Smith, 42. Eli Smith, 42, I beg your pardon. What do you reckon?
I think most likely. I reckon Pat Cummins first change, open with Stark, Hazelwood. It's probably,
yeah, I mean, and that's worked for most of it. Whenever they've bowled together, that's generally how you want it to go. I'm probably not going to necessarily say that Hazelwood tends to swing it more. He's more the line and length and hit the seam, get some seed movement. Stark is the one that comes in and tries to swing it. So
Doesn't tend to swing that much in India, though, does
no,
it? Really?
not much. He doesn't swing a great deal unless you get lucky. Maybe under lights, he might swing a little bit, but
It's a very short period at the start. There,
I
isn't it,
didn't
where it's
see
been
I didn't see a lot. There wasn't a lot of swing on offer in the series. So, but generally, yeah, traditionally, like if Hazelwood is playing, it's usually Hazelwood, Stark, Cummins.
Yeah, I still sort of feel that if you want to target any of Australia's seam bowlers, Hazelwood's probably the one. I've said before that he just tends to hit that length. He doesn't vary it. He's a very good test bowler. In fact,
Yeah.
he's one of the best in the world, obviously, because he hits that length and he's consistent. In one-day cricket, it's all about the variations and chucking a few Yorkers in there. Well, I mean, not chucking, you know what I mean. Yorkers,
Yeah.
bouncers, mixing the pace up a bit, whereas I feel that Hazelwood, in one-day cricket at least, is possibly a bit too predictable. And we saw in the test matches in England when Ben Stokes took him apart at Headingley,
Yeah.
because he was quite predictable about where he was going to bowl.
Yeah,
That's not to say that Hazelwood's not a good one-day bowler. I just think that that's something that he could potentially work on. Look at me, super coach.
yeah, Supercoach. Yeah. I'm sure he probably is, Charlie. He's probably working on it every day.
I'm sure he is too.
But that predictability can be a bad thing, but it can be a good thing too. That you can, captains can set fields to it. You know what's you generally know what he's going to bowl. You can set blokes up, but he usually does take wickets anyway. So
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously I've only ever tried to bowl, I'll say quick, in inverted commas, seam. I bowled seam, all right. But I was always taught Yorkers are a key ball. If a batsman's going after you as a left-arm spinner, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to see what movement he's making first and then chuck it wide? Or have you got a plan A that you go to if you know a batsman's trying to get after you?
I guess it just depends what time of the game it is, really. What type of field you've got, and sort of go from there. If a guy can bomb you out of the park, basically, try and get as flat and quick as you can, basically. That's about as all you can
Firing
do.
in Yorkers, basically, so you can't get under it.
Yeah, pretty much.
just data min. I mean, the Yorker is generally an underutilised ball.
I feel so.
Funny enough, I was having a discussion with we were out at the Sixers game having a chat with Cameron Nee from Kookaburra, who also played a lot of first grade, and he was saying, why don't they just bowl Yorkers?
Yeah.
We're actually lucky enough to talk to Dave Hussey, the coach of the Melbourne Stars, and he said to David, why aren't you guys just bowling Yorkers?
Well, that's what when I was playing, it used to be something that Flintoff in particular and Darren Goff used to be great at.
Yeah,
it's getting the Yorkers in.
It really isn't. It's for some reason it seems to have gone out of the game. It is an underutilised delivery. If you could bowl Yorkers and you can bowl them well, mate, when you going to take wickets and two, blokes aren't going to hit you.
Well, they're not. I mean, the batsmen these days are a bit more clever in their manipulation to get the Yorkers away. But I feel you can set a field to Yorkers.
But it's a lot harder to hit a Yorker than a length delivery or dropping it in short or so. Something for them to work on. Now, there's a few questions here that sort of probably are similar in regards to Australia's the batsmen that they picked.
Yeah.
So if we talk about whether or not Maxwell should have been on the tour, he wasn't picked. They picked sort of Ashton Agar and Ashton Turner. Probably Ashton Turner more for that batting spot. Probably that spot where Maxwell would be. Obviously, Maxwell sort of had that after the 2020 series against Sri Lanka. He said he needed a break and took some time off. So I think that's probably why he wasn't picked and why they didn't take him. But a lot of people are sort of asking,
You sort of have to wonder what Maxwell has to do.
Maxwell should be, they should have picked Maxwell. Why do they pick Turner? What's Turner doing in the team? Which is probably fairly justified because Ashton Turner probably hasn't been in the best form in domestic one days, probably all T20s. So you would think that Maxwell probably is the man for that spot. I don't think he has to do much. I don't think he has to do much more. Obviously, his Big Bash form has been very good. And I would think, that most times you're going to pick Maxwell over Ashton Turner. You think?
Yeah, most likely. I think, especially in India, I reckon picking Maxwell every day of the week offers a bit with the ball as well.
Yeah,
pinch 5 or 6 overs hopefully out of him.
And then his fielding will can win you some games sometimes.
Yeah.
So
you have to wonder, other than the break that he's taking, you have to wonder what he has done or what he has to do in order to get picked again. Because you just think he's someone who's got that much X factor and talent, and we've had this discussion hundreds of times, but I don't know. Maybe he's got photos of someone that he shouldn't have.
No. I think that's more like then you're more likely to get picked if you've got that. I think he will get picked. I think if he's available. So we've actually got some one day games coming up in March against New Zealand to finish out the summer. So I would think that he will be probably picked for them, or everything being fit and healthy.
Tough team to beat, New Zealand.
Good, but well, mate, one day finalists.
No, I know. Speaking
World Cup final,
from what I had to watch a couple of months ago.
Joint World Cup winners.
No, I was thinking more of the Test series that we just lost to them. But sure, I thought you'd prefer that one because we actually lost that rather than walk away with the trophy.
Yeah, I think it's 6 months each, isn't it? That trophy, it's just 6 months in England, 6 months in New Zealand.
I don't think it says New Zealand on it, mate.
Yeah, might have to get hold of that and just scratch that in. Anyway,
nothing like sour grapes, is there?
Oh. No, we're just like beating up on the English. That's all.
The English like beating up on the English.
I do have have a joke there, but it's probably inappropriate for a family show.
Then don't do it.
We try and keep it civil over here, man.
Yeah. Yes.
He's lost his train of thought now.
You have now. You've ruined me.
Now, an interesting joke.
No, so you watched the series. So an interesting thing in that last one day game, they put Mitchell Starc in to bat at 5. I'm not sure what the thought process was there. Obviously, they wanted him to just try and get some quick runs. They just obviously wanted him to go and just swing because it
can only be pinch hitting. Sure.
Well, yes, of course. I don't don't understand why you would put him in. It didn't work because he got a duck. As it usually happens with pinch hitters. Like if you're going to put a pinch hitter in, they're usually a bowler. They only occasionally come off, and very rarely. And this one didn't work. So that just seemed to be a strange move. From me, that you just stick Starkey in where it's not happened any other time. They've never stuck him in. When we've been going well and just go in and keep going with the momentum. They've just stuck him in. Just
out of interest, at domestic level, has Stark ever batted higher up the order and got runs?
No,
don't think so.
No, he's usually batting at sort of 8 and below. So it's not like he's batting at 6. A couple of times and getting some runs. So I mean, Mitchell can bat. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about that. But I'm not sure you'd be putting him in India to pinch it to try and get some runs where you've got some batsmen underneath. Well, because then Alex Carey came out after him. Now, Alex is a much better batsman than Mitchell. He's also left-handed, so it couldn't have been a right-handed left-handed thing. No, because then you had 2 left-handers because Carey's left-handed as well. So it was.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I haven't got a clue. I didn't know that happened.
That just was a bit baffling. Now India did an interesting thing as well, where KL Rahul took the gloves in the last 2 one-day games. I've never known him to be a keeper.
Well, that delves into those questions, doesn't it? Why was Rishabh Pant dropped? Says Daniel Luca. Making KL Rahul to bat at number 4 is a better option than Rishabh Pant, says Nishant Upgrade.
Yep.
Oh. Nishant Upgrade.
Yes.
There you go.
I thought it said upgrade for a minute. Sorry,
I did too when I first read it.
So that is interesting. I think Pant was just a little bit out of form.
I think he was babysitting for.
Tim rang him and said, "Could you come over?" I think he was just probably a little bit out of form, maybe a bit out of form with the gloves and with the bat. Obviously, obviously a bit like with Australia, with anybody who had to follow Adam Gilchrist, there's always a little bit of pressure. Anybody that had to follow MS Dhoni.
Tough act to follow.
Tough act to follow, especially in one-day cricket. So, but Rahul seems to be doing a decent job. He's scoring runs, which is obviously first and foremost, which is important. And his glove work was tidy enough, I think. So, could be interesting to if that continues if that helps the balance of their side. If they need to get another bowler or another batsman in, that you've got Rahul batting and keeping. Could be interesting for them. But if Pant can find some form, I mean, he is quite destructive.
Yeah.
And he's also a good enough keeper. So you would think at some stage he would come back. He would come back in. But so that was an interesting point of view. So So Australia, all the guys are now back and heading off to their Big Bash teams. Which is exciting because it means that Steve Smith will be playing for the Sixers and Marnus Labuschagne will be playing for the Heat, which will be good. So that might fix the Brisbane Heat's batting woes, which we'll get to in a minute after they lost 10 for 36.
Yeah, there's a couple of other little questions in there. Troy N. Oh, that'd be your mate, wouldn't it?
That would be my mate, yes.
Yeah. Probably one batsman short this series. Tanner's the man to go. Thought Agar bowled well. Smith should have listened to the call and not ball watched. Otherwise, a pretty awesome series. Most competitive we've been in India for a while. Interesting. Now, the
only thing I'd say to that, Troy, was that we were over there last year and we won 3-2 after being down 2-0.
But otherwise,
otherwise than that, not bad.
That one below has got me interested there. Discussion of Pat Cummins' current batting form would be nice with stat analysis, says Flynn.zl. Now, I just had a quick look at the runs from the series. Pat Cummins, 3 matches, 2 innings, no runs.
Yes.
Whatsoever.
Nothing.
Globes.
Yeah, globes. He got out twice.
Interesting.
No, we can't.
Are we just talking about him for that series or batting overall? Because he can hold a stick.
He can hold a stick, yeah. He probably didn't have the greatest summer with the bat this year. He was arguably our best player last year against India with bat and ball. He can't be relied upon to carry Australia all the time. So yeah, look, his batting form's probably maybe dropped off a little bit if you look at what he did last summer. But I mean, his bowling is still just going from strength to strength. So I think that's probably the more important part. That's probably what he's in for, is to take wickets rather than to.
You played against him a few times.
I have. He played at Penrith Junior.
Yeah.
Pretty good player, but I think it's just one of those things, I guess. Well, if you're batting and bowling well, it's an easy game. No one says anything, and then as soon as you do nothing, everyone blows up.
Honestly, yeah, it's like, just relax. Yeah, Pat's doing a good enough job, I reckon. I think he's okay, and to be honest, he hasn't really had to score any runs this year. With Warner and Labuschagne and Smith. He hasn't. It's not like he hasn't had to do anything like he did last year when he was coming in and trying to get us some totals. So,
I mean, look, we know he can hold a stick. Form is temporary, class is permanent.
Yeah.
Pat Cummins isn't in the team for his batting.
No.
So I'd say that probably wraps up that particular point there about Pat Cummins batting.
I think it probably does. Yeah. He'll be right. He'll come back and find some form. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Now, should we go into some proper cricket?
Test match cricket.
Talk some test match cricket?
Yes, why not?
And, of course, you're overly excited about this because England have won an away series.
No, we haven't. There's still one game to go.
Well, have you watched it?
But we stand a good chance, but I'm English, so I'm typically pessimistic.
Right, fair enough.
Okay. If there's a chance for us to pull defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah. Well, then we can't lose it, though.
That's true. I mean, well, that's one way to look at it.
Yeah, because it's only 4-match series, so they made it so that you can't lose it.
So we've just gone 2-1 up. As if I'm playing. England have just gone 2-1 up with 1 to go. A particularly good match for Devon cricket.
Here we go.
Here we go.
No.
Time to hop on the cream first train.
That's it.
No.
That's it. It's all about Devon cricket. Dominic Bess has gone and got himself his first 5-wicket haul in Test cricket. Very good effort. Wasn't originally in the squad. was called up as cover, and he's sort of come into his own and shown, well, actually, I deserve to be here. Jack Leach, they're Somerset teammates, so and then England teammates as well. I think Jack Leach is suffering from an illness of some kind and had to go back.
They were all suffering from an illness at one stage.
Yeah. But hey, it's good to see Devon cricket well represented again at international level. Obviously, Philander playing for South Africa. He used to play for Budley Saltston on the south coast of Devon. Incidentally, the only cricket ground in the UK which is below sea level.
Nice stat.
You always
absolutely useless stat.
You learn all sorts of stuff.
Text yes if you want to subscribe to Charlie Facts.
Yes.
No.
Get a new fact every
day.
Oh, maybe we should do that.
Don't, because that means I've then got to research.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, so England actually put in a fantastic batting performance for once. They only batted once in this game. It's the first time in over 2 years, I think, that they made more than 400 in the first innings of a Test match. 499 for 9 declared. Ollie Pope scoring a magnificent 100, teeing off at the end there. 135 not out. Ben Stokes doing what Ben Stokes does and scoring 120. In the second innings, so England then bowled South Africa out for 209. That's when Zach Best got his wickets. In the second innings, there was a bit of a mini collapse at the start as well. And Joe Root ends up on 4 wickets for not many at the end of day 4.
Yes.
Joe Root,
yes. The England captain Joe Root, the outstanding top order batsman Joe Root.
I mean he was on 4 for 30 or 40 something by the end of day 4, and then he's come on to bowl himself in the last day, and he's ended up 4 for 87.
4 for 87. So it didn't work. It only worked once.
I watched 3 overs, and I thought, Joe, you're bowling poop. They're 9 wickets down, and you've just been hit for 12 by their number 11. Oh, I'm turning off. Okay.
Didn't Maharaj hit him for 28?
I think so, yeah. I think that's probably the point that I turned off and decided that I might rewatch Breaking Bad.
Yeah. He really just wanted that Viper.
Yeah, I mean, we had the opportunity to win by an innings and 90 or something like that, and then there's just 40-odd runs. I think a 99 partnership for the last wicket.
It's not a bad effort.
Which is a bloody good effort. For me, one of the big talking points from this particular game is Kagiso Rabada, who celebrated effusively in the face of Joe Root when getting him out, and has got himself.
Can you just Google that?
Yeah, man.
For me, please.
I've got it. I may have used that.
It's rare. I feel like I hear a brand new word.
No, I want to hear the definition of this now in case I've got it wrong.
We'll keep talking.
Keep talking until you find it. So he celebrated.
Celebrated in Joe Root's face a little bit. Got himself another demerit point, and that's an accumulation of 4 points over 2 years.
So he's out of the last Test match,
which makes England's life a little bit easier, hopefully. But you have this feeling that South Africa are going to want to finish the series strong. It's going to be Vernon Philander's final game.
Test match. Yep. Could be Faf's last Test match. There's talk. There's talk of. I think the only reason why there's talk about it is because obviously South Africa are not playing that well, and they're sort of talking about. They asked Mark Butcher, is Faf going to retire? And he sort of said, well, I don't know, maybe.
Just out of interest, what insight does Mark Butcher have on?
Well, he's now the head coach.
Is he? Well, that's a fairly good insight, isn't it?
He's now the head coach of South Africa. So obviously, I mean, South African cricket is going through a bit of turmoil at the moment. They've sort of had in recent years a lot of their decent players have actually left and signed coal pack contracts with county teams, which basically sort of mean that they don't play international cricket. They're not eligible for international cricket. So they've lost a lot of good players, unfortunately, and that's just basically due to the fact that obviously they can earn more money playing county cricket than they can playing for South Africa.
Yeah. Have you watched much of this series?
I have a bit. So it's good to see Ollie Pope play for Campbelltown 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Very good player.
Yeah.
So good to see him score 130.
Definitely. As well, sorry.
So anyway,
just
going back to Rabada, he's got a bit of he's got a habit of sort of he gets sort of very.
See, I'm not sure.
I mean, like excited is probably not the word. He gets very
effusive.
Probably effusive,
marked by the expression of great or excessive emotion or enthusiasm.
Yes, when he gets wickets, and obviously, you saw that thing a few years ago with the Steve Smith incident, where it sort of brushed shoulders, and there was obviously a bit of a kerfuffle about that, and obviously now with Joe Root, so. He sort of, because he tends to celebrate very hard, like, in front of the batsman.
Yeah,
rather than sort of just celebrating, sort of.
I'm sort of
off
50-50.
Off to the side.
I'm sort of 50. I don't know where I sit, and how dare you doubt my command of the English language?
Well, I didn't doubt it.
No,
He just
never heard it before.
He needed to look it up, so I knew what you were
consider
talking
myself
about.
a pretty well-read guy. It's rare I hear
I
a
do
word
too.
that I feel like is absolutely brand new to me, and I know effusive.
You taught me a few things about my own language, soccer, football. Anyway, I'll let it go one day. The celebration thing, I'm sort of 50-50 on, because historically you look back in Test cricket and you see people like, I don't know, Brett Lee doing the chainsaw in front of a batsman, or Merv Hughes, tickets please, that sort of thing. And Rabada's excited about getting a wicket. And for me, it's a bit over the top. But it's
more
not
the yelling in the face, which is the
I don't like that.
But and that generally is what it is. It's the yelling in the face, and it's not. It's Bradley does the chainsaw, but it's not exactly. It doesn't necessarily run up to the batsman.
Oh, there've been a few.
Yeah, maybe been
Mitchell Johnson,
maybe a couple. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm 50-50. You want to see that sort of aggression. You want to see that competition between bat and ball, and you want to see the bowlers in a contest and letting the batsmen know they're in a contest. But where's the line?
Well, I think they've shown with Rabada where the line is.
As a spinner, you wouldn't go up in someone's face like that, would you? I mean, you personally, maybe not. Anyway,
yeah, I don't know if it's a good wicket. You might carry on with it.
Yeah. It depends who you're getting out.
So it's all circumstance.
Yeah,
it's all circumstance.
But an accumulation of 4 points over 2 years.
Yep.
I don't know when the end of that 2 year period was going to be. You want to play against the best, but at the same time, is this the second or third time that he's been banned for this sort of thing?
I reckon it's probably at least the second time. He got banned for that incident with Steve Smith, but then he got overturned. So
he's got to learn.
Yes, he's got to learn. He's got to learn. Where to draw the line. We're not saying don't celebrate. We're not saying don't show emotion. But it's probably just running in front of the batsman and just yelling at him is probably not the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Are you? Well, not that you really care that much, but what do you think of that England lineup there that we've got?
It's not your best lineup.
No, I'd agree. Zach Crawley at the top there is doing a solid job, I think. Dom Sibley.
I think they've gone okay. Zach's doing a fairly solid job. Dominic scored 100
recently.
Didn't he, in the second test. Joe Denley's looking pretty solid. Maybe not. You'd like him to probably score more runs and score 100, but he does. He occupies the crease, which is at least one thing. I think it's some sort of ridiculous stat in his last 10 innings he's faced over 100 balls or something like that. So he's in there and he's facing deliveries. But then he's just needs to score some runs. Joe's holding on. He's doing okay. Scored 100 recently. Obviously, Ben Stokes again another 100. He is the class. I mean, he is the class player in that side. Yeah, Ollie Pope getting 100 in this test match, which is good. Probably the concern is the keeping position. So Butler's not really scoring any runs.
I don't know what's happened to Ben Foakes.
They had Bairstow, and he wasn't scoring runs, and they dropped him. So I think do you guys go again to Sri Lanka soon? I think.
Gee. Put me on the spot.
And obviously then, so Ben Foakes is probably. I think they're probably considering actually like the best keeper in county cricket. Is that fair to say?
Ben Foakes, I think it's a fair assessment.
And obviously he's good with the bat.
Yep.
He scored 100 on debut in Sri Lanka.
Yes, you're right. Sri Lanka coming up soon.
Yeah, so I think they might be looking at that something to look at. Because Josh has just seemed to gone off the ball, especially like with the bat. I don't.
He's been a bit
sort of going okay, but he's batting sort of.
It's been a bit selfless, really. A lot of the times he's been coming in.
Sometimes, runs. So he's doing the team thing, which is interesting. But
what do you reckon to that? Or are you sort of I'm Australian, I don't care what England do?
Dom Sibley's pretty good player.
Yeah.
Zach Crawley's not too bad. Joe Denley, I'm a bit.
I like his leggies. I don't know why. He's not in for his bowling, but I love his leggies.
They're handy.
They're very handy.
They're a bit, Labuschagne light. They're a bit, but they're handy.
Yeah. Mark Wood just cracks me up. He's just a funny character.
It's good to see him back though, playing Test cricket.
Definitely.
He's unfortunately sort of gets hit with injuries a lot.
Yeah.
But he can bowl. can bowl quick.
What do you think of that batting order? Are you kind of happy with that? I quite enjoy seeing that, to be honest. I like to see that middle order is good. I like to see Denley, Root, Stokes.
I'm not sure who else you put in, to be honest. I don't know if there's anybody else that could go into that lineup. Yeah, unless Bairstow comes out and has a big county season again and he can get back in. I'm not sure what else is going on.
Bring Ian Bell back.
He still scores runs, doesn't he?
He does. He can't help himself.
I don't know if I'm not sure he can quite get into Test cricket. AJ, what are your thoughts on Dom Bess?
As a bowler, I faced him at Sidmouth about 6 months ago. He went
Devon cricket.
Went for none for 60 in our game. Bowled very bad. But then 6 months later, takes a Test fifer. So good on him.
He's got that slope to help him at Sidmouth as well.
Didn't work. Brody just keeps going on and on.
Yeah. I still love that Barmy Army song they got about it. He's big, he's bad, he's better than his dad, Stuart Broad.
He bowls better than his father does, yes. That is true. Obviously, James Anderson made a comeback in this Test series. Got through one Test match.
Yeah.
Before breaking a rib.
He seems to be very injury prone in the last year or two.
It's because he's 110.
Yeah.
You know.
You've got to manage him.
He keeps talking. Well, you keep managing him, but he keeps talking about he wants to. I think he wants to come out here for the Ashes series. He wants to play another Ashes series at home.
We touched on this in the last show as well, didn't we?
It's how long can he go? How long can he go before someone's just going to say, Jimmy?
Yeah. We gave our thoughts on the last show about how historically he's gone in Australia. Would you like to see him out here again, AJ, or from a point of view of, we'll get some runs against that?
Yeah. He's obviously a world-class bowler. There's no doubt about that. But I think it's sort of time's ticking, I reckon. I reckon just whenever he announces it now. So
It's certainly I mean, because obviously he was injured. Yeah, he bowled.
It'd be a hell of a romantic story for him to come back, come to Australia, win the Ashes, retire on that. But realistically,
that's not going to happen.
I don't think. Well, we could win the Ashes over here. I don't think we will next time out. But Anderson,
that's not going to happen.
All right, God.
I'm just telling you how it is. That's all.
I just don't see how he can, have a good a series as he did in 10-11.
Yeah,
out here again.
And then also, have you got to start looking to you got to start putting some new guys in. You got to start getting some experience into some of these guys in county cricket that are bowling well, so that they can get the experience rather than trying to just sort of shoehorn James Anderson back in, because Stuart Broad probably he doesn't have too long left either.
No, probably not. I mean, I've been an advocate. We had Craig Overton playing a few Test matches in the last couple of years as well. I've been a big advocate for his twin brother Jamie, who you would know fairly well, having played at North Devon last year. He's the quickest bowler I've ever faced, and England lack a bit of pace. The problem with Jamie is injury prone.
Yeah.
They've got to start looking at that.
You get Jofra Archer back into that. Back into that team, and
I didn't even think of Jofra Archer.
And you get some pace in there, so that's obviously
Mark
Wood's
sharp.
Mark Wood is sharp.
He was bowling 145.
So I mean, if you can get some guys where you've got Archer, Wood, Overton, if you've got guys that can bowl over 140, like Australia does, like India can do on occasions, where you've got guys bowling by 145, then you tend to be a lot tougher. Obviously, we sort of saw with New Zealand coming out here where they had guys bowling at 130, 135 tops. It's a tough place to play when you unless you're hooping it round corners.
That concerns me about Sam Curran as well.
Yeah,
and that his brother played out here last time and went all right, Tom Curran. But Sam, I think at his pace, I think he might have struggled a bit in South Africa as well.
Yeah,
I just don't think his main weapon is the swing, and I just don't see that in Australia he'll get too much of that after the ball's got a bit older.
Yeah, so unless we play, I'm not sure how many pink Test matches we're sort of going to play. So day-night Test matches we're going to play in the Ashes series. Then obviously he could come in because the ball will.
That's the point
move
as well.
About a bit. So
I've heard, just going back to India and Australia, Virat Kohli is now open to the idea of a day-night Test match over here next summer.
Yeah, I think he's open to the idea of playing at the Gabba as well. So
yeah, that'd be good.
That will be good. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it'd be good for India, because if you want to be considered, number one.
want to see a day-night test match here in Sydney, or do you reckon they'll keep it to Adelaide and Brisbane for now?
I think they might keep it at Adelaide and Brisbane for now, or Perth. We have one in Perth, in New Zealand, which is interesting. We'll just see how it goes. It's obviously depending on the interest of it. Obviously, the Sydney and Melbourne always get good crowds. They'll get good crowds next year for India. So I think at this stage it'll probably just stay that it'll be traditional, and you maybe just keep it with Adelaide. Yeah, whether or not we play Brisbane as a day-night test match, I'm not sure. We may keep it as a normal test, a traditional test, and just see how that goes, rather than maybe playing a day-night test. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right. So as happens over most years, this time, Big Bash is on. It's in full swing. It's coming to the end of the rounds. Getting closer to the final series every day. And so overnight, Perth Scorchers beat the Thunder pretty convincingly, beat them by 8 wickets. And the Sydney Sixers had a good win at the SCG in a rain-affected game last night over the Melbourne Stars, which was good. Moses Enrique was on fire.
I've just spotted. Sorry, we've got some questions on the BBL as well, and I haven't been watching the BBL. I've been watching the Test cricket, as we said earlier.
Yes.
This question.
Yes.
I am _OG10 says, why did Thunder win against Sixers? I'm a Thunder fan and was confused. Now, now I didn't see the game, so I have no idea what's happening here. But did one team score more than the other, or
no?
What happened?
It was rain affected. It was rain affected.
Duckworth-Lewis.
Yes, Duckworth-Lewis.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's how that happened. So it was quite badly rain affected. That's it.
We should do a whole episode one day of the history of the Duckworth.
So I think it's
not the first time it's come up on the podcast.
It's Duckworth-Lewis Stern.
If we do that, if we go through the history of Duckworth-Lewis, we might make the situation worse just by talking about it. It's that complicated.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I have no idea how it works. But anyway, so the Melbourne Stars are on top. They're guaranteed a final spot. They're in. It is then a bit of a lottery for the next team. So the Sixers are coming second. Strikers are third. Perth put themselves back in the running of fourth. The Thunder are holding on in fifth. The Heat are sixth. If they can maybe learn how to bat, they might get lucky. When you lose, when you're none for 80 odd and going to win the game at a canter and you lose 10 for 36, you are going to get some stuff put on you.
Struggle.
Hobart are seventh and probably too far gone, and the Melbourne Renegades are still celebrating last year's win, and are stone cold motherless last. Only just winning their first game the other day. They lost 7 again. If you're going to lose, if you're going to be the reigning champs, and sign one of the best T20 players in Australia, in Sean Marsh, and then proceed to not win a game until last game, you lose 7 in a row.
Stone cold motherless.
Again going to get some put on you. Sorry, I'd say that. Anyway.
I've never heard that before.
You ever heard that?
No.
Stone cold motherless last.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Have you heard that one before?
Definitely ahead of my time, I think.
Anyway,
Stewism.
fair enough. So most runs, Marcus Stoinis, he bombed a few last night as well. So Sean Marsh is doing his best for the Renegades. He's second, just shy of 400 runs. Josh Inglis is playing some good cricket for the Perth Scorchers. He's
Any relation?
Again. Don't think so. He's doing well as well. Then in the bowlers, Daniel Sams, local City boys, doing a great job and leading the wicket takers for the Thunder. He's taken 20 wickets. Tom Curran, Sam's brother, is doing a great job also for the Sydney Sixers. He's on 17, and then you've got Harris Ralph for the Melbourne Stars, who I think played at West's.
Yeah,
a couple of games at West last year.
Yeah, Bowls Gas wasn't fun facing.
Bowls, yeah, no,
Wasn't
not having, not batting in the nets.
Yeah, 6:45 coming in with a new rock.
Oh,
Great
no,
fun.
thanks. No, I'll pass. Thanks, mate. No, I'm good. I'm all right. Yeah. So I'm not sure if he's still in the squad, because I think he's been picked for Pakistan T20 team. So he's off. Rashid Khan continues to perform strongly as well. He's taken 16 wickets. So. Big Bash still going on, so a few more games to go in the rounds before we get into the finals.
What's happened here? There's a Azan .Syed _ fellow Kingsport ambassador, Chris Green. Why'd they ban him? What did he do? Who'd he upset? Why?
No, he didn't. He didn't upset anybody. He was reported in a game recently by the umpires for a suspect action. So he went off and did the testing, and they did find that I think it's his quicker ball, his quicker delivery. They found that it sort of that action was deemed to be illegal.
Not having it.
So look, I think it sort of came to a bit of a shock to everybody because I've never heard anybody sort of mention anything, sort of saying that there was anything sort of, they thought anything would be untoward, but they went and did the testing. They found that the action was not legal, so he's been banned for 90 days, and he's currently working really hard with a lot of top coaches to get it right. He's taken it in obviously he's obviously disappointed that he's not playing. We're obviously disappointed for him that he's not playing because he's a great guy and he's a great cricketer. But he's copped it on the chin and he's taken it as a great opportunity to work hard, get better, and come back
Is that kind of guy?
bigger and better. And he's getting a lot of support from obviously not only the Sydney Thunder but in the IPL as well and over in
Caribbean.
The Caribbean, but in Birmingham. Which is going to be the captain in their league. So he's working with all the top coaches to fix the action and get it right. And he's probably come back bigger and better. So we also give Chris a lot of support because he's a ripping bloke. We're very proud to have him as a Kingsport ambassador. So we can't wait to see him back on the field doing what he does best.
Definitely. Yeah. Look, we put predictions out at the start of the year for who we thought was going to win the Big Bash, and we sort of stuck with the Sydney teams one way or another. I went with Thunder, and that's proven to be a fantastically bad prediction.
I think I also went with Thunder.
There's still time.
I think I did. There's still time.
Stu would have gone the Sixers, I'm sure.
Yep.
Did Hamish go Sixers as well, or did he go out the park and go for
he
Hobart?
might have gone off.
I'm not sure who we went with.
I don't remember.
We'll have to watch back.
Did you have a tip at the start of the competition that you thought would win the competition, and have you updated that since, or have you just gone,
I think
cricket?
Stars team on paper is basically amazing. I thought, obviously, the Heat with getting Tom Banton over, one of the best 2020 players in the world at the moment.
And then replacing him with some bloke named AB de Villiers.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
But Sydney Thunder, I was definitely picking them at the start to go pretty well, start off pretty well, and then lost a few games down the bounce.
A few weather-affected games have some have helped, some have not helped. We also got affected by that game where we're in Canberra with the smoke. So they could be in a different spot if in other circumstances. But
it's gone the other way now, the weather, isn't it?
Yes,
we've had some much needed rain.
And speaking of weather going the other way, and speaking of Canberra,
right?
I'm not sure if anybody saw the pictures of Monica Oval yesterday.
I did.
Covered in what you thought was snow, but it was actually hail.
Yep.
It was like it was the middle of it was like it was in England in the middle of winter. It was. I'm sure Nick will find a picture and stick it on.
Yeah, I saw
YouTube,
it on.
But it was just completely covered.
I think I saw it first on Georgia Redmayne's Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was just completely
crazy,
completely covered in hail. Yeah, the thunderstorm in Canberra.
Yeah, man.
Like yesterday afternoon was absolutely diabolical. So hopefully there's no injuries. There's definitely a few cars that it needs new windscreens.
I'd imagine
hail damage, but it was if you can look it up and have a look at the photo, it's something to see.
Yep.
And just another example of Australia's weird and wacky weather. Because it's going to be like 40 degrees by the end of the week. So
great,
isn't it?
Fun times.
Bushfires, floods, drought, all at the same time in the same country.
Hail.
Hailstorms. All good times. So, back to predictions. Are we sticking with we're going to back the Thunder in it? They're going to make a late charge and sneak into the finals and get the job done.
Why not? I mean,
well done, Chuck. Well done for sticking with it.
Like I said, I wanted one of the Sydney teams to win, so there's a guarantee of at least one of them being in the finals with the Sixers up there, hopefully. So if Thunder don't win it, then Sixers will.
Yeah. AJ, what do you think?
I definitely want Thunder to win, but I think Stars are going to be too good, I think.
I think the Stars are definitely the best team. They're playing some really good cricket, so it's probably theirs to lose. A bit like last year, to be fair. So we'll see how they go. I'm still going to stay aboard the Sydney Sixers. If they can play like they played last night, which was really good, then they can definitely give it a big shake. So again, let us know what you think coming to the end of the Big Bash season. Who's gonna get the job done? Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Is that wrapping it up here?
I think that's it. I think I'm going to go. I'm going to make a prediction. I reckon it's going to be Stars and Sixers in the final.
Fair enough.
Right.
Yeah. At the MCG, which would be great because they're going to play that bushfire relief game before the final with all the former Aussie cricketers playing, so there'll be a big, massive crowd.
Yeah, great cause. Make sure you donate as well. Producer Nick's whacking the music on. I think he wants us to.
Yeah,
we got to wind. We got to wind up.
Like it's time to wrap.
We got to wind up. Yeah, we got to go. AJ, thanks for coming on.
No
Pleasure to
worries,
have you.
Good to have you.
Back on again. Charlie, good to see you as always.
As
Nick,
ever.
superb job.
Should we do the contacts?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Alrighty, same again. Facebook at Kingsgrove Sports Centre, Instagram at Kingsgrove Sports, Twitter at Kingsgrove Sport. Use that hashtag KSC Podcast, and YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and something about the RSS feed.
Yeah, if you listen to podcasts on another platform, you want to add our podcast to your platform you're listening on, the RSS feed for our podcast is in every description of every YouTube video we put up, so it'll be there. You can listen to us wherever you want.
Cool. All right, guys.
Sweet.
We'll catch you next time.
Thanks for joining us.